future of Jack Miller in MotoGP has been a topic that has been discussed for not just this year, but many years in fact. When you look at Miller's career in Grand Prix racing, it is quite unique. You know, he went straight from Moto3 in 2014 into MotoGP for 2015, and he has been in MotoGP ever since, winning 4 Grand Prix in his time. And who could forget that first one that he had at Assen in 2016 when riding for Mark VDS on the Honda. And then there was a bit of a barren run. He progressed into a really solid rider when he made the move to Ducati, and he proved to them that he was a real asset in terms of testing, and then moving into the factory team, proving his worth as a worthy number 2 to Pecco Bagnaia. Miller then took 3 victories from 2021 into the 2022 season, and then since 2023 has raced for the factory Red Bull KTM team, and it's fair to say that that partnership hasn't really worked out. The results haven't been there for the majority of their time together, and it led to the question of this video today: what is next for Jack Miller? And before we get started, I'd be appreciated if you could like and subscribe to our channel. Helps us out massively on the YouTube algorithm. It gets people to see our content and also supports us as well. So hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like as well. Now, I'm going to be frankly honest, I really like Jack Miller as a character, as a rider in MotoGP. I think he is such a relatable person for fans, and that is why he's really popular. He says things that fans want to hear. You know, he doesn't sugarcoat things. He says it as it is, and I think that's why a lot of people really resonate with Jack. He stands out in that way, and that's a really important aspect of this video that we're going to look into. Because recently Jack has said, when speaking about his future, what is going to happen. As we know, he is out of KTM at the end of this year, as he's being replaced by Pedro Acosta, and there's no room for him at Tech 3 KTM. That is going to be taken by Enea Bastianini and Maverick Viñales. So what are Miller's options? Well, he said in a recent interview he doesn't want to be here just because he's Australian, and he doesn't want it to be because of his passport. And this is the thing that gets brought up a lot in MotoGP when discussing who's going to get rides. There's people saying that Joe Roberts was going to get the Trackhouse ride simply because he's an American and he's had a good season in Moto2. But that's not the case. Ayagura, Japanese, has moved into the Trackhouse setup for 2025 and 2026. But with Miller, it's different. He has proven that the talent is there. He has also shown that he has progressed on a lot of different machinery, and especially making the jump straight from Moto3 into MotoGP. Missing out Moto2 is a massive thing. There's only been really Darren Binder since who done that jump. He went from Moto3 straight to MotoGP for a season, and Darren, to his credit, did have some decent performances, but nowhere near the level of Miller. And Miller has came through a generation of riding the open spec Honda in the sort of CRT class in his first rookie year, then progressing into the Michelin era with the same electronics on the Honda, progressing into Ducati, also being the rider that tested out ride height devices for the first time at the back end of the 2019 season. You know, there's things with Miller that he has done that show he's a really good progressive rider, and his results do show that when you look at his span for when he was on the Ducati. Yes, it hasn't worked out at KTM the way they would have wanted, but this is where it's key. Miller is in talks with Pramac Racing to join their satellite Yamaha setup in 2025, alongside, we believe, and it has to be confirmed, Miguel Oliveira. Now, that's a very strong satellite team. When you look at it, it's not really a satellite. The new term is extension of the factory, so it'll be 4 factory bikes for Yamaha, 2 for Fabio Quartararo, Alex Rins in the Monster Energy setup, and then the extension being the Pramac setup. That'll be Miller and Oliveira, if it's confirmed. And this is a good point. Miller is a really good rider for feedback, and this has been highlighted by KTM. Pit Bauer said that Jack has really helped progress their machine in a positive way. He is the one that's seen the least benefit from that, as the other riders have seen the improvement on their side, and Jack has kind of struggled to take profit of the work that he's done, which is quite counterintuitive the way I'm saying it, but if you get what I mean, he has helped their project. It leads to a lot of questions from fans, journalists, myself, that wonder Is his time up in MotoGP? I don't think it is. I think he's very important of having someone from Australia, especially in MotoGP. And it's quite contradictory what I'm going to say, because yes, there is a factor of having your passport and being the right nationality. Because Dorna, don't forget this, they want to have a world championship. They want to have nations represented from all around the world. They would love to have a British rider in there. But I suppose the closest thing to having a British rider is having an English speaker. Jack Miller being one of them, a native English speaker. And also, of course, you have Brad Binder as well. But this is the key point. Losing an Australian rider, that would maybe hurt the Australian market. And I don't think they want to do that. Miller has more than shown that he's capable of fighting for Grand Prix wins, podiums, and being a good rider for a factory. And this is why I think it's come at the right time, potentially, for Jack, having a good relationship with his former team at Pramac. You know, they absolutely adored him there. They have great relationships still. You see Paolo Campanotti, you see all the team members that he used to work with at Pramac still speak to him. You've seen it last week at even Austria. They're having a chat in the pit lane. And yeah, Miller has always stressed that he's never burnt any bridges with his former employers. And this is a real key point. He's a good team player. And we've seen that with Bagnaia especially. They had a good relationship together. He's a good person to have for morale. But when you look at the other side, the cutthroatness of MotoGP and Grand Prix racing, it's results based. And when you look at Jack's season this year, it's been pretty awful. He is 15th in the championship. He hasn't really gelled with the KTM the way he would have wanted. Of course, that comes down to issues with the rear tire, especially the KTM. It's having a lot of rear vibration, and Miller seems to be struggling the most out of the KTM riders. And yeah, a change of scenery potentially for Miller. I would like to really see him grow into a rider that can lead a project and test things, and I think it would be a good fit for him to go to Pramac again. I don't know the duration of what the contract would be. Would it be a 1 year and see how it goes sort of thing, and then potentially renew? But I don't think his time in MotoGP is done yet. And yeah, Jack Miller is needed in MotoGP. He's a great character, but he's also got great talent, and I think that needs to be stressed. He can win Grand Prix. He can, like I say, fight for podiums. I think he's just in a difficult moment in his career. Every rider goes through that. This will be something for him that I think is a positive move. Nothing is confirmed as time of recording, but I do think that he will be alongside Miguel Oliveira when that's officially confirmed at Pramac Yamaha next season. But it also leaves the question, what about the talents in Moto 2? Say Sergio Garcia, Alonso Lopez. Yamaha stressed that they wanted to have a younger talent, maybe potentially moving up in this new setup they have, this new project. But that looks like it's going to change. And yeah, if you're Sergio Garcia and say he wins the Moto2 Championship this year, bit of a shame for him not to win and move up to MotoGP, but we've only seen that a handful of times before. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Jack Miller is still worthy of the MotoGP ride? Do you think he still thinks the offer? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's always greatly appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one.